What's up, everybody? It's Austin Lamson, and we're getting a lot of questions about a homeowner's exemption, so I wanted to post this out there as quickly as possible so y'all really have some depth about what this is. Now, we're talking about the state of California. Every state has a different homeowner's exemption or Homestead Rights Act. Texas, y'all are completely homestead, and y'all got a whole nother thing out there. Oregon, you as well. You're a little bit closer to California. Washington, closer to California, a little bit different. So, what is the homeowner's exemption? The homeowner's exemption is for when it is your owner-occupied property, right? So that means you live there the majority of the time. And what it does is it takes $7,000 off your assessed value. So for example, if you bought your property at $100,000, your assessed value with the homeowner's exemption is now $93,000. What does that mean for you? Well, that actually means that you are going to save money on your property taxes. So that is the why behind this. You want to save money, and there are legal rights that are different when it is your primary residence versus an investment property or a second home. So you really want to make sure it's on there. One of the main things on the whys is according for Prop 19. Now, Prop 19 in the state of California does supersede some rights in Prop 13, which is the basis of how we're assessed. But Prop 19 is really focusing on transferring your property tax basis when you're over the age of 55, which you can now do up to 3 times. There are different allotments as well. If your property was, say, destroyed by a natural disaster, a couple other things, talk to a state attorney and let us know if you need any. So let's going back to that why, Prop 19. So if I'm living in my property and I bought it for, say, $100,000. Now my property tax basis before bonds and fixed rate charges, the municipality cost, is $93,000. And then it's like 20 years later and I sell my property for $1 million and I buy a new property for $1 million. I am transferring that $93,000 basis. So I'm not going to be reassessed at the $1 million level. So the big why is because not only do you want to save money today and in the future, you want to be sure your rights are protected, and you want to be sure that future transfer basis is captured. Now, how do you do it? You file it with your county. Now, if you are one of our clients, you're going to get follow-ups in a 6-month time frame because that's typically when you get reassessed. Reminders on how to do this. We send you an additional notice in the mail on this and supplemental property taxes. And if you need links to the forms, we've got that as well. It is free to file. You do have to file it before the property is reassessed for that tax year. So let's say you bought it in January and they reassess the property in October and you don't file it till December. Tough luck. You got to wait a whole new year to get that tax benefit. Now, some big FAQs around it. This is a 1 per property. You cannot have more than 1. And if you leave that property, let's say you turn it into a rental property, you're supposed to remove your homeowner's exemption. Now, you can add it back on later. Yes, absolutely. It's not just a one and done, but you are supposed to remove it because, again, it's for your primary residence. So the homeowner's exemption is a great thing for you. It is free to do. It is easy to file. It will save you money, protect your rights, and make sure that you are in the long run in a great financial position. You let me know what I can do to help you or anyone else. It's Austin Lamson. Make it a great day. Rock and roll high five.